I'm Emma, and this is my birthway, and I'm going to update you today about being 6 weeks pregnant. So that would be, I'm sort of reflecting on my experience from 5 weeks pregnant to 6 weeks pregnant, because the last video was a 5-week pregnant update and everything that happened before that. So this week is when the nausea started. Before that, I was just having like uterine cramping, like, ooh, stretching. And now it's, I am just nauseous. And I was hoping I wouldn't get this, but I mean, like so many people do, I don't know why I should be worried about it. And also a really cool thing is if you, well, it's okay. If you have morning sickness, there's actually a positive correlation between that and having a full-term, healthy baby. So don't be freaked out. Don't think that like, oh, you're puking out all your vitamins, like the baby's not going to be healthy. It's not true. You're fine. You're fine. If you're severely dehydrated or if you haven't been able to eat for many days, like, okay, that's the thing. Talk to your doctor, talk to your midwife. But for now, just try to eat what you can and try to eat nutrient-dense stuff if you can. That's been my struggle this week, is trying to eat nutrient-dense stuff. So the way I used to eat before was really nutrient-dense. Like I almost ate no empty calories, like no carbs, no bread, some natural carbs like sweet potatoes and, vegetables, obviously, they all have some naturally occurring sugars in them and stuff. But like almost no fruits, which are yummy, but I just don't really eat them much. But like really dense, like organ meats and, avocados and good oils like coconut oil and like really good meats and animal fats and really good organic vegetables, things like that. So this week that is not happening so great, because I am disgusted by some of those things. I'm super surprised by how actually overwhelming and disgusted by some of those things I am. So I was thinking like, oh, when I'm pregnant, I'm going to eat like pate all the time. Yeah, right. Pate is like the grossest seeming thing to me ever right now. I'm going to eat like canned oysters, like smoked oysters. I love those. Like, ew, disgusting. I can sort of handle sardines, weirdly. I don't really know why. Like hamburgers. Okay, yummy. Like I want hamburgers for some strange reason, but only like sometimes. But I've been having really weird, like really quickly changing food cravings. Like, oh, I want tons of cheese. I want to eat pounds of cheese. And so Jason does research and he finds this really great grass-fed organic cheese, and they only offer it at one store in town, and he buys me like 10 pounds of cheese, and then the next day I'm like, I don't really want cheese. So, I mean, I'm eating the cheese, but I'm not like ravenously devouring it. So it's pretty funny. There was a pickles, extravaganza where I really wanted pickles. I think that had to do with some of the salt and the vinegar and the pickles and like settling my stomach is kind of what I'm guessing. The cheese would be, there's lots of good fat and protein in cheese, So those are some of the things that I've been craving. I also really wanted like muffins and bread and stuff, which like isn't something I crave at all. But I was fighting that urge pretty much, until I threw up for the first time. Because I wasn't throwing up. I just felt kind of constantly nauseous, and the smell of cooking food was like, oh my God. Like for Thanksgiving, we hosted Thanksgiving and we had to cook the turkey and like the duck. And I was just like, I can't take this. It's horrifying. The smell. I was like, I don't even want to look at it. Sit it on the other side of the table and like give me the green bean casserole and stuff, like, and the, the stuffing and all that. I don't want I don't want the horrible meat. It seems like death. Like it's just so dramatic, because I'm dramatic anyway. But I thought, oh my God, I am going to now be a person who throws up all the time, because I am a bad thrower-upper. My best friend is like, when she feels sick, she's like, I'll just throw up and feel better, because I can tell I'm going to anyway, and she just gets it over with. Psh, not me. I am like fighting tooth and nail against throwing up, like holding my head up and like breathe. I'm better than I used to be, but I am an idiot about throwing up. I guess I got the stomach bug maybe, I don't know, a couple months ago, 6 months ago. And that was so much throwing up that I think I got better at like, okay, just go throw up, like get it over with. So that this time it didn't feel quite as upsetting to throw up, but it was weird. It was, okay, this was just a couple days ago. And I thought like, oh, it's part of the morning sickness thing, but I don't think it was anymore. So let me explain. The stuff that I've been eating for breakfast was like mostly an apple with like some almond butter on it. Because I know I needed some protein and some fat, but like I really just wanted like fruit. And so I ate that, and then I was like, okay, but I need to try to eat more because I'm still hungry and I'm going to feel continuously nauseous if I don't keep eating. It's like a constant struggle to like fill up my stomach, but not too much. It's like way harder than I thought to figure this out. And so I was like, okay, well, let me have some broccoli because like broccoli is yummy and it sounds yummy and we have some in there. So let me steam the broccoli and put a bunch of yummy like grass-fed butter on it. Like, oh yeah. So I'm going to do that. So I did that, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to go do the animal chores outside. Take care of all the ducks and the turkeys and the chickens and the cows and the geese and the pigs. And so I did that, and when I was outside, I was like, whoa, I'm having like some intense, I couldn't tell if it was like stomach or uterine like pain, but it felt kind of like gas, but it felt kind of like near my uterus. So I was like, I really don't think this is a thing. I think it's just a gas thing. But it was like really intense, like, oh God, I gotta stop and like lean over like a bag of feed and like take a break. Like, it's crazy. What's going on? I was like, well, maybe I have to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and there was definite diarrhea. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll feel better now. But then I was like, oh God, I feel worse. Like, I feel cold and itchy and hot and sweaty. You know, the way you feel before you throw up, you're like, oh God, oh God. So I got a bucket because we have an ample supply of buckets in my life. And I took it in there into the bathroom with me, and I was like, am I going to throw up? And I was like, this is so weird. Like, I've been eating this apple and almond butter thing for a while. I haven't felt like throwing up, like, really at all. I just felt nauseous. Like, I haven't been close to throwing up. I can tell that. And then it was just, like, complete barf. It was like, and it was the broccoli that came up, because I ate the broccoli most recently. Obviously, everything came up, but it was like, just threw up all the breakfast. And I was like, oh no, it's the beginning of the end. I'm going to be like a person that throws up nonstop. And I know some women experience that. And you guys are way tougher than me. I could not handle that. I mean, I guess if I had to, I would. But I want to give you lots of hugs and awards for your ability to get through the throwing up. Because, oh my God, I am not good at that. Ugh. And so I threw up and I was like, whoa. And I thought I was going to throw up again, like later on, and I didn't, but I thought I was going to. But I had more diarrhea. I had to run to the bathroom over and over again, like every 20 minutes. But after I was done throwing up, I thought I would feel better, and I did for a minute, but then that weird cramping came back. It was so intense that, like, my husband, when he feels sick, if he's, like, thrown up, he'll, like, lay on the bathroom floor because it feels cool and nice. You know, it's the classic person that pukes, they, like, hug the toilet. He'll do that. I never do that. I'm like, let me go get in bed now and cover up and go to sleep and avoid life. But it hurt so freaking bad. I had to lay on the bathroom floor. Like, I don't even think I pulled my pants up the first time. I was just like laying on the bathroom floor like I can't move. And then finally I was too cold. So I came and I got in bed, and then I had to get back up again and go to the bathroom. But I was like, what is this? And way later in the evening when I started to feel a little better, I didn't think I was going to throw up anymore, but I had to keep running back and forth to the bathroom over and over again. It was horrible. I talked to one of my friends who said, I told her what I ate, and she was like, maybe it was the broccoli. And I was like, what? No, like, I eat broccoli. Bolt, okay. Shh. And the dog barks again. Bolt, honey, it's okay. Come here. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And I mean, I knew that you're not supposed to eat some of those cruciferous vegetables raw, like ever in life. Because even if they're organic and all that, it's like the Brussels sprouts, the broccoli, let me see. What are, like, some of the greens, like the collards and the kales and stuff, you're not supposed to eat them raw. Because even if they're organic, they have some really intense chemicals in them that really are, your body can't digest them. They're not good for your body, really at all. Guys, come here. Shh, it's okay. Come here, dogs. And so I guess this is less disruptive than when I have a 3-year-old kid running around one day, right? So I thought, that doesn't, like, really? You think so? I mean, I eat broccoli all the time. I don't know if I've had broccoli necessarily since I've been pregnant. And the more the night went on, and I realized that what had happened was almost like the way I've responded to food poisoning, or like a stomach bug, kind of. That I think it was the broccoli. Because I talked to my mom, and she said, maybe it was that butter, like all the fat in the butter. But I was like, yeah, but I had butter on a sweet potato earlier, and, you know, I've been doing butter. I just hadn't been doing broccoli. And So I really think that that's what it was. I think that even though I steamed the broccoli, there was too much of that intense chemical stuff in there that can actually be negative for a baby. You know, that's why you're not supposed to eat it raw. It's like it can overwhelm the system. It's kind of toxic and intense. Humans can't really digest that very well. And so I think my body was like, hey, puke this out. We don't want it hanging out with this baby. So I think that's what happened, because the next morning I felt pretty much fully better, just super sunken in and hungry. I didn't feel like leftover, like, oh, I'm nauseous and weird. I felt like the way I'd felt before. So that's interesting. So since then, I have felt not really as nauseous, not really as grossed out by food, which is good, just for the past like couple days. Yeah. And so that's kind of nice. So I feel like before, when I would eat, like at the beginning kind of this period, this week period I'm talking about, like the food would like go down and I would like get like stuck here. And it was like, I don't know if I'm so hungry, because my stomach down here is hungry, but this chunk of food is not moving down and this sucks. And that's not happening as of the last few days. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully that continues. Oh, one thing, I have been burping like nobody's business. Like burping. It is like ridiculous and embarrassing. I feel like a toddler child, like, or a baby after they nurse, like, oh, you gotta burp them because like they can't burp themselves. That's what I feel like. It's like I eat a bite of food and I need to burp. And usually if I have a wave of nausea, I'm like, oh, I feel nauseous. It's because I'm just about to burp because there's a buildup of gas. But I mean, it is ridiculous. I'm not really gassy. Like, I don't feel gassy, but I am burping up a storm, which is probably related to the slowed down digestive system that I've got going. But I think it's also my body's way of coping. It's like, hey, we're trying to digest. We're trying to get things down. We need to burp stuff out, which is okay with me. I'd rather burp than puke it out later.